I've said before that when a man masters his craft, whatever that is, and I think you know what your craft is, it's finance and empowering people with their finances. When you master your craft, what other people will see when they look at you performing on the court looks to them like magic. That's the sign, like one day, if it hasn't happened already, it'll happen more consistently. People will start telling you this, that you're brilliant. They don't know how you do it. You're just amazing. You're just like so good at this. Like you have a gift, you have a talent. When people say that, that's because they're seeing magic happen where you've committed to mastery. And going one layer deeper into that is, I think it's the continual work that you are invited to do with yourself, which is stop making it about you. Like it's a real discipline to stop making your life about you, or making your business not about you, or making your calls, your prospecting, or your referral requests to have that stop being about you. Because when you are involved, you fuck it up. And I'm talking for we, like when I'm too involved emotionally, or from some space of insecurity or fear, if I'm thinking about myself when I'm taking the action on the court, I'm not actually on the court, I'm in my head. I'm not bouncing the ball, even if I might be bouncing the ball, I'm not bouncing it in this world of performance. I'm just stuck in my head thinking about it. About what do people think of me? Is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? Maybe this will work. There's so much interpretation. There's so much noise going on. So, I mean, the discipline, if you were the Karate Kid, paint the fence. If you're painting the fence when it comes to your prospecting, it's really having the discipline to stop making it about you. Because there's nothing inherently wrong with saying, do you know anybody who's making a grip of money? Do you know anybody who's making $500,000 right now? And, would you be willing to introduce me? Because I want to help people that are making that kind of money. There's nothing inherently wrong with asking that. There's nothing inherently offensive about it. But it's all the stories that we tell ourselves that have us shut our mouths. And it will piss off some people. And it will be really inspiring to others. And it will mean nothing to most people. Like, we get so edited and limited by what we think other people think. Or what we think other people are going to think. You're like, I can't say that because they're going to think this. You don't even do it to find out. You never even ask, so you don't even find out what they actually think. And even if you did ask, they probably won't think that. And at the worst case, they're going to think terrible things about you. They're going to think, that's what people are going to think. Oh my God, no one's going to be satisfied. You can't make everybody happy. Most people don't even care, so just go for it. Because
I think so. Get the shit, man. Like,
you're gonna die someday, and so are they. Like, what are you doing? What? Like, are you gonna make a difference or not? Are you going to offer yourself? And really, it's like a battle with ourselves. Like, there's this inner battle with ourselves, and that's really just that's the climbing of the mountain. That's the never-ending work of your life. You have to surrender to that reality that for the rest of your life you're going to be battling with, or dancing with, or learning to love this part of you that's afraid, or this part of you that wants to pull back, or this part of you that is worried about what other people will think. That's something you've got to just really start to embrace about yourself, and that's how you're going to be able to put that aside. It's not about Jose. Ask if they know anybody who makes $500,000. Yeah, don't fool yourself. Yeah, don't fool yourself that the mechanics or the volume of activity, it can be shortcutted just because you're brilliant. And that's the problem, is this, that you're brilliant and it's your own Achilles heel. It's because you've been able to get pretty far in life and in business at a young age because you're brilliant. And so you get arrogant thinking that you've got something over on other people who do the work the hard way or the old way or that way. So you kind of like, well, I'm just going to be skillful. I'm just going to be the freaking best. But professional basketball players are artful in how they play the game. It's an art, right? You look at how they play the game and it's like you're watching an artist perform. But what do they do the other 23 and a half hours in the day or throughout the week? They're taking 1,000 free throws. They're doing drills. They're bouncing a tennis ball and a basketball against the wall at different speeds and practicing their mechanics. So they're doing the science so that the art becomes possible. I've said before that when a man masters his craft, whatever that is, and I think you know what your craft is, it's finance and empowering people with their finances. When you master your craft, what other people will see when they look at you performing on the court looks to them like magic. That's the sign, like one day, if it hasn't happened already, it'll happen more consistently. People will start telling you this, that you're brilliant. They don't know how you do it. You're just amazing. You're just like so good at this. Like you have a gift, you have a talent. When people say that, that's because they're seeing magic happen where you've committed to mastery. So I want you to take that to heart. And if you don't mind, I want to go back to another topic that you mentioned earlier. And can you hear me okay? I know there's a little bit of...
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're good.
Okay. There's a spiritual component to this whole thing about fear. And that is when you say that, you're focused on yourself when you're in fear, that is you separating yourself from God. So when you're consumed with fear, even subtle fear, just apprehension, you're severing your connection because you're focused on you and you think you're alone and you think you need to take care of you. So Jose's got to take care of Jose because Jose's afraid. So you step in and try to have Jose take care of Jose by not asking for the referral to the $500,000 potential client. You take care of Jose. Jose takes care of Jose instead of God taking care of the whole thing. So fear creates the illusion. Fear puts us into a state of illusion where we are not in reality. We are in our own story, our own reality. And God is so willing to this is what I've observed about love, is that love from God, and love is God to me, that God says love is something that you have to accept into your life. If I force love upon you, if I say, Jose, I am God, you must feel my love, that wouldn't be love, would it? That would be something to do with coercion or manipulation or, pushing something onto me, onto my spirit. God respects your and my autonomy. Is that communicating? Or did you cut out for a second?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit.
God respects our autonomy and stands at the threshold between love and fear and says, as soon as you're willing to let love in, it will come. So as soon as you're willing to drop the illusion that this is about you and you have to take care of you, instead of letting God take care of all of it, then God will just come in. And what is meant to happen, what is possible to happen, will happen in that situation. Even if what's meant to happen is that person's supposed to get pissed off at you for asking for the referral. Even if that's just so divinely orchestrated so that you get taught that lesson.
Yeah.
But I want to just highlight that because it's something I was present to for a long time, and having this conversation is connecting me back to it in a very powerful way. So I really appreciate that we're having this conversation because it's making a difference for me too. Is that that illusion of fear. Fear is an illusion. Fear isn't actually real. Fear is, in a way, God's love. It's God saying, I love you so much that I can't force love upon you. So if you choose to live in fear, if you choose to live in an illusion, then I will, of course, I respect your autonomy as a soul that I have created. So it's up to us. That's why the ball is in our court in terms of letting go of fear and really allowing ourselves to relax and let go and kind of release the tension that we hold in our own lives because we're tense. The masculine energy is that of dominate, attack, pioneer, conquer, master. That masculine energy it's got that you're going and creating something and making something happen, and it carries with it, when there's fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension, a lot of tightness, a lot of like work. But the beauty is allowing that softer side, allowing yourself to kind of relax into the kiddie pool a little bit, let the water hold you while you swim. You know, it's like you can't fight the water, you got to go with the flow. When I've asked God in the most, somber of moments in my life, like, what is the meaning of life? Like, please, come on, just give me a fucking clue. Like, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? What are they doing here? What are you doing here? Like, what the fuck?
What's going on, man?
The only answer...
I had that, like, probably when this whole thing started, when we were on shutdown, like, I literally had that moment out in my yard. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, what the fuck to teach me? What should I be paying attention to? Because you done fucking threw me off for a curb. Like, is this you? Like,
well, that's where the most simple answer I've ever gotten, and really the only answer I've ever gotten clearly, was the meaning of life is to live. And that pissed me off. It's like, that's fucking useless. Thanks for nothing.
Enjoy the shit show.
but I've come to really like that subtle, profound mind fuck that God can do to you sometimes. And that when you feel the message and the resonance of the universe kind of talking to me, it's like, that makes sense. Life is happening. Life is in session. And don't worry about why or what the purpose is. The purpose is self-evident. The purpose is your life itself. Your life is your message. Your life is what life is for. So right now, like, this is what your life is for.
It's too, man. Like, I spin around like closed mouths don't get fed, and I'm like, and it's like, it's so true. Like, you just get comfortable, and then when you want to crack the ceiling, it's like, oh, well, I haven't done this before.
Those moments are the best though, when you're like, when you finally do it and you're like, because you're so fucking terrified. You're like, oh my God, this is gonna go so bad. And then it is so bad because you're so nervous and you're such a fucking fool when you're doing it for the first time, and they pick up on that and you feel worse because you know they're picking up on like how awkward you are. And it's like, it feels like you're giving birth. You're like, it's like, oh God, it's like you're taking a huge shit. It's like, oh God, like, I just gotta get this out.
I like this because it's definitely taking the pressure off of me. It ain't about me. It's about
it's not about you. It's about it. It's not the what's about you is your own lesson around fear. That's all it is. That's all you've got to do in this with this situation is your lessons. That's all you're gonna take out. The money's not yours. The money's not even real. Like,
I like that.
The money's not even real. It's not even yours. It's God's money. So play with it, do good with it, and make a difference.